to find common ground by collaborating and working towards bringing better technology solutions, innovative products to the world.
Show investors or customer have marketing and commercializing their invention products in the market.
As large gatherings are no longer encouraged, I'm happy to see that MTE has gone virtual. This will allow more innovators to promote their innovation and share their ideas with the world.
It has been nurturing the innovation culture among scientists, researchers, students and startup founders in order for them to transform their ideas into business ventures.
There may come a day in the near future when we have overcome this crisis, but our innovations may be able to assist another country in their fight against the pandemic.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm happy to be invited by the organizers, Protem Group and UITM to say a few words of encouragement and congratulate all the participants of the Malaysia Technology Expo 2021 Sustainable Development Goals International Innovation Award. SDGs is about making the world a better and safer place for all, leaving no one behind. So I hope you will always innovate with sustainable development as the end goal and contribute towards ending poverty, protecting the planet and ensure that by 2030 all people enjoy peace and prosperity.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to MTE 2022 Virtual. Do enjoy our next knowledge sharing session.
Hi everyone, welcome to our webinar today. Our topic today is protect your online innovation using intellectual property rights. We are going to use Amazon as a case study. I'm your speaker for today. I'm a patent lawyer by profession. I have been in practice as a patent agent for more than 20 years. Apart from IP prosecutions and protection work, I'm also an angel investor. I've been actively involved in the angel investment movement in IP-rich company in the ASEAN regions. Today, we are going to study how Amazon managed to grow from an internet startup selling books online 25 years ago as a pioneer internet online bookseller. Today, Amazon has grown to become a $1 trillion company. What is the source of Amazon's success? From its humble beginning, operating from a small office in Seattle, USA, almost 25 years ago, Amazon has grown to become a $1 trillion mammoth, selling to 300 million active customers in 155 countries and controlling 50% of the online sales marketplace. In year 2018, it has recorded a revenue, a whopping 20 billion US dollars revenue. Amazon's amazing growth is powered by three key factors. First, Amazon was the first company to seize upon the tremendous opportunity by the then nascent internet technology to offer biggest selections of goods and services from any seller from any corner of the world to any buyer sitting in the comfort of their home, residing in any corner of the world. Internet knows no boundary, and Amazon is undoubtedly offering to the consumer the world's biggest solution using internet platform technology. In this respect, Jeff Bezos, the founder of Amazon.com, managed to seize an early mover advantage using this internet game-changing technological platform and laying the groundwork for Amazon eventual growth to become the world's largest company. Secondly, we can also see that Amazon is foreverly obsessed about using technological innovation like drone, like artificial intelligence to constantly lower cost structures and therefore offering lower prices to its customers. Amazon also is always on the lookout for new ways, new process flow to improve delivery of business to its customer. And this is the third success factor. Amazon uses technology to enhance customer user experience. And with all this innovation and all this technological breakthrough, very important factor driving the success of Amazon.com is Amazon strategically protect all its innovation, all its business and technological innovation with intellectual property rights like patents, trademarks and copyright to give it the much needed competitive advantage against its competitors. So, because of doing the right things, Amazon managed to grow its revenue exponentially over the past 25 years from US 500,000 in year 1995 to US 280 billion in year 2019. Without questions, Amazon is one of the fastest growing company the world has ever seen. Amazon owns a portfolio of valuable IP assets. Among others, Amazon owns copyrights on the computer source codes that power the Amazon e-commerce platform. Amazon also owns some of the world's most valuable trademarks Amazon.com is the world's largest e-commerce site. Using the iClick solution, customers can find and discover anything they want to buy online at the lowest price possible. So all these descriptions and goodwill has been cleverly protected by Amazon.com as slogans. Amazon owns slogans like Earth's biggest selection. If it's in print, it is in stocks. These are some of the unique selling proposition of Amazon.com's offering, which has been successfully protected as trademark by Amazon.com. The key technology behind Amazon's amazing e-commerce engine, codenamed One-Click e-commerce solution, was also registered by Amazon.com as a trademark. So if you want to look at some of these successful trademark of the world, you can see that in year 2018, Amazon ranks among one of the most valuable trademarks in year 2018. Interbrand 2018 ranked Amazon as the third most valuable trademark, valuing Amazon.com at a value of $100 billion. So riding on the tremendous goodwill of the Amazon.com mother brand, Amazon also spin off a host of subsidiary businesses with the mother brand or the house brand as using Amazon.com as the house brand. Example of these spin-off businesses are like Amazon Web Services, AWS, that offers a collection of web services giving cloud computing platform. In US, you can also find Amazon Fresh brand name that sells and deliver fresh groceries to home. And I'm sure you are familiar with the brand Amazon Kindles that sell ebooks readers, and also the Amazon Prime memberships program. So all these sub-brands ride on the goodwill of the mother brand, and they are able to penetrate the market easily because of the goodwill of the mother brand. So if you look at the total market valuation of Amazon.com in May 2018 and compare to the valuation of the trademark given by Interbrand in 2018, you can see that Amazon.com's brand constituted about 13% of the company's value. So undoubtedly, Amazon owes a lot of its success. The valuation owes a lot to the value of the trademark. Next, I would like to also share with you how some of the innovative business processes that powered the Amazon e-commerce engine has been successfully owned by the company using patent as the tool. So let's focus on some of the patent assets owned by Amazon.com. In these connections, I would like to share with you one of the most famous patents owned by Amazon.com, a system that enables all the e-commerce users around the world to conveniently and effortlessly make orders through internet engines. And this popular system is known worldwide as the one-click ordering system. This one-click ordering system was introduced by Amazon.com way back in 1997. The patent was filed in 1997 and it expires in year 2017. But this one-click ordering system has come to be the de facto standard for doing e-commerce worldwide. And what is protected in this patent, in this one-click patent, is a method of how internet user can place order for an item through internet. And it is, if you look at the claims of this patent, what this patent protects is actually a combination of steps. For those of you who are familiar with patent, you would understand, you will know that patent is actually a game of combination. If you come up with a new combination of steps or a new combinations of feature, and this new combination can deliver utility or it has technical advantages to the user, then you are qualified to file a patent. So in this one-click patent, what Amazon owns is actually a combination of steps, which it can be summarized by my next slides, right? The Amazon.com basically protects a method of a client ordering certain items online, and the method will comprise of, first, you have a client system, and second, you have a merchant server. So in response to a single action performed by the user, the client system will send to the merchant server an order for an identified items together with the client's identity. So the client's system is equivalent to your computer. So when you log into an e-commerce website like Amazon's website, you would have to register as a member. So the system captures your user information. And when you click on the items that you want to buy, both your information and the item's information will be sent to the merchant's server. And when the merchants receive those orders and the client's identifier, it will process the order and complete the sales. So by coming up with this one-click solution, Amazon has cut down the complexity of making internet ordering and therefore making e-commerce ordering process a seamless experience for many users. So this was a very simple and easy to use system, and it can be easily copied by competitor if you don't have any patent protection. So Amazon was well advised, even at in its early days of operation, they quickly filed in a patent. And what happened was there was a competitor, Barnes and Noble, who is also selling books online. It's a rival bookstores. They saw the success of this one-click ordering system, and they also came up with a similar platform, barnesandnoble.com, to sell books online. But because of this barrier of entry created by this Amazon patent, Amazon was able to take legal actions against Barnes and Noble, and they managed to squeeze Barnes and Noble into not using the same process to sell books online. In 1997, Barnes & Noble was a huge company. Compared to Amazon.com, was a small online bookseller. But armed with this patent, Amazon.com was able to turn against a much bigger opponent and force the opponent to its knee to settle the case with Amazon.com. So what we can see in this one-click example is, if you are a business going online and you have come up with an innovative way of delivering your services or your product or selling your products, and these innovative solutions or process flow can add competitive advantage to your business, then you should jealously guard and protect the process flow using whatever way you can. And one of the way you can own it, one way you can set up legal barrier of entry to your competitors to copy away your secret source of success is by way of filing a patent application. So by what I can summarize in this case is, what Amazon did was they come up with a better way to improve customers' experience, and that better solution ways was successfully protected by Amazon.com, paving the way for its eventual growth to become the world's biggest online company. I'm also, in the following few examples, I also want to share with you what Amazon.com did to try to suppress the cost structure, the logistical cost for the consumer if you order online and you need to send goods to your doorsteps. So Amazon.com constantly come up with a better way to reduce the cost and also at the same time deliver better customer experience for its consumer. So one of these patents filed by Amazon.com in year 2015 is a patent called Unmanned Aerial Delivery System. And in this particular patent, what Amazon tried to do is to protect the way online seller can deliver items to the user, to the person who order for your goods in a destination location. So again, you have to look at the claim. You have to look at the claim to understand what has been protected by Amazon.com. So the claim reads, it's a combination owned by Amazon.com is encapsulated in the claim. It is a system for delivery items to destinations, locations, comprising of element a combination of unmanned aerial vehicle, or also known as drones. You have a combinations of drones, and each of the drone is configured to aerially transport goods. You can send goods through drones. And secondly, these drones is controlled by an unmanned aerial vehicle management system. That system, the software system, has a processor, has a memory, has a program stored within the memory that give instruction to send a request and receive a request and to deliver an item to a destination location. The processor, the system can receive requests from the end user or from the factory, and you can send to the unmanned aerial vehicle delivery parameter to those drones, identifying where to pick the goods from and where to send the goods to. And wherein the unmanned aerial vehicle, the drones, in response to receiving the delivery parameter, it is able to navigate, flies to the source location, engage the item, send to according to the navigation parameters, the destination locations, and disengage the items. So what you are seeing here is, by filing this patent, Amazon is trying to own how you can deliver items through drones using a computing system. And this pattern would also have a very wide-ranging impact on the logistic industry. This pattern has far-reaching consequences equivalent to that of the one-click patents. And the patent was filed in 2005. So this is one of the examples of how Amazon tried to innovate, reduce costs, and patent the innovation to make sure that when competitors want to come in and do the same thing, they can nab and stop competitors at its butt and does not pose competitions to its business. Next, I would like to share also with you another futuristic pattern. This is something not yet in place, but may one day become a de facto standards of delivering items to crowded metropolitan. The pattern was also found in year 2015-16 around that region and around that period. And the patent's title is an airborne fulfillment center utilizing unmanned aerial vehicle for item delivery. So in this particular solution, faced with a very crowded logistical, very crowded metropolitan, so you have to solve the logistical issue of delivering items to the user. So what they have thought of is, come up with a airborne fulfillment center. You can use a hot balloon, fly all the goods to airspace nearby the metropolitan and use drone to deliver the items ordered to the destination. So let's look at the claims one more time. The claims read, and these are the combinations owned by this patent. It's a computer implemented method comprising of under the control of one or more computing system, configured with executable instruction, receiving an order for an item from a user located in a metropolitan area, wherein the item is maintained in an inventory of an area fulfillment center that is airborne at an altitude. So the fulfillment center will be airborne on top of the metropolitan. So this software will instruct the unmanned aerial vehicle located, which is sitting on this area fulfillment center, to engage the item, instruct the drone, the UAV, to depart the area fulfillment center, and instruct the UAV or the drone to navigate to a delivery location within the metropolitan area and disengage at the delivery location. So again, by following this pattern, if any competitor were use the drone and an airborne fulfillment center to deliver goods to a metropolitan area, you will be infringing the patent owned by Amazon.com. So what Amazon has done is to conquer a certain way of delivering through an airborne fulfillment center using a software and a drone. And this is an example of how Amazon is owning part of the future. This is something that is still not in place yet, but patents last for 20 years. So this might come in, much later, maybe in a few years' time. And when that become the way to deliver logistics, fulfillment, to deliver fulfillment for logistics to very crowded metropolitan, then Amazon will have an upper hand using this pattern. And Amazon has innovated many other innovations, and with the time we have, we probably will share another one with you. And this is another patent which was granted in year 2018. It's patent number 9914539. It is a system using cushioning using cushion to using inflatable airbags to cushion packages that they want to deliver to you, and they can airdrop from as high as 25 feet to its destination. So what does the pattern entail? The pattern is actually comprises of, again, a package which you want to send to be transported to a delivery location using, again, an unmanned aerial vehicle, UAV. And then this aerial aerial delivery vehicle were equipped with a airlift package protection airbag. So they can, these cushioning packages has a mechanism to inflate air around the packaging that they want to airdrop to you. And they have a cavity at the bottom where, the goods, once it is air packed with inflatable air, it can airdrop to the front of your doorsteps. So by doing that, Amazon is again thinking out of the box to see how they can, without using human, can deliver items to your doorsteps. And this is another example of how Amazon is constantly innovating on how to improve the customer experience by cutting down delivery time, and at the same time reduce the cost, and always giving the lower cost to the consumer and satisfaction to the consumer. It is a company always on the move, and that's the reason why they are taking up all the market, more and more of the market share of e-commerce. There are many examples of the pattern found by Amazon.com, but I'm just going to share a little bit more before we move to the next topic. This is another example of how Amazon used a configuration of unmanned aerial vehicle to make sure that they can aerially transport goods of any size, any weight, any quantity, and to enable them to travel longer distance to deliver goods to their consumer. So this pattern was covered by this collective unmanned aerial vehicle configuration patent filed in 2016. And Amazon also was quite innovative in coming up with ideas to use lampposts as the docking stations for their UAV. Should a UAV needs recharging or refilling, then they converted lampposts into the docketing system for their UAV to fulfill the delivery function over a long distance. So I hope all these examples will illustrate to you how IP can support the business strategy. Amazon business strategy is twofold: lower cost, better customer experience. If you come up with ways to lower the cost, ways to come up with to better the customer experience, and you do not protect it, you are leaving your solution naked for anyone to copy, and that will take away your competitive advantage by competitors. You have nothing left if you have no patent to protect your core competency. So what Amazon has done over the years is to jealously protect all their innovations and inventions, and making it as a tool to drive the business growth. So from the example shown, we note that since its inception, Amazon has effectively utilized intellectual property rights to protect its key online innovations and technology. IP protections provides legal barrier of entry that effectively safeguard Amazon core competency and source of competitive advantage from competitive threats. With the protection still afforded by patents, trademarks and copyright, Amazon managed to grow its market shares and maintain its profit margin and to grow to become one of the biggest companies in the world. So if you look at the slide here, if you're a business, you want to grow, you need to come up with new ideas. Any new ideas, be it a new function, be it a new content, or new ways of identifying your and differentiating your services, you can protect it by different types of intellectual property. Functional ideas are protectable by patents. Identifications like your slogans, your brand, your goodwill can all be protected by trademark, and your content, the source code, the expressions are all protected by copyright. So if you're going online, you want to come up with a new way of delivering solutions to your consumer, to your customer, new process flow, new delivery system, patent the functions. If you come up with an innovative expression to make your website interesting, creative juice, when your creative juice start to flow and you come up with innovative, creative content, you need to look at copyright to protect it. When you come up with some slogan, you come up with some trademarks that identifies your goods, trademark it. These are the way you can make sure that the idea is proprietary to your company and you can grow your business using those innovative ideas. So over the years, Amazon has filed many patents in the technological field. It files the most patents in cloud computing, followed by urban logistic machine learning. And you see that the trend of patent is growing. As Amazon grow bigger, they file even more patent because now they are the market leader. They have to make sure that people don't come in to compete away, to eat into their market. So they have to jealously guard the market with all these new barrier of entries in the form of patents. In year 2018 alone, Amazon filed more than 7,000 patents. And the number, as you can see from the previous slide, it is growing. There are many reasons why Amazon filed and places great emphasis on patent filing. One of the main reasons is for defensive reason. Amazon spent a lot of R&D money in doing new innovation. So Amazon needs to own those proprietary technology. And also at the same time, it wants to secure freedom to operate. If the drone delivery system is already owned by someone else, then Amazon will not have the chance to sell those products using drone because of barrier to entry. So Amazon have to look to the future and own part of the future by imagining what is going to happen next and file all the patents to protect the future solutions. Also, Amazon use it for the offensive reason, as you can see in the case against Barnes & Noble. It has to prevent competitors from copying these core competencies. When Barnes & Noble came in to sell books online using the one-click, they have to act. Even though Barnes & Noble at that time was a much bigger company, but with the patent, Amazon have greater bargaining power over Barnes & Noble and to force Barnes & Noble to settlement. And thirdly, to enhance corporate values, Amazon license out that one-click system to different types of internet e-commerce platform and make revenue from royalty payment. So this is one of the way where Amazon can make money. And of course, when you own certain proprietary technology and no other people can use your process to deliver goods, then you have advantage, you have the cost advantage. You can compete successfully. It helps in your marketing. And if we look at all these airborne solution system, docketing system, all these are parts of the future. You own part of the future by filing the patent now. So that when the future is now, you own the present moment. So this is what Amazon has done successfully over the years, and we believe there's a lot to learn from Amazon's success. Finally, I would like to turn your attention to the financing aspect of intellectual properties. As you can see, Amazon, from the beginning, when it was founded in year 1994, was an IP-rich company. What it owned was an idea, a very capable founder, and a great idea to utilize internet to sell goods to the world. And but to raise fund, you have to have some assets. So in this early day, what Amazon owned was intellectual property and some intangible assets like the entrepreneurship and the great execution power of this founder. So in the early day, what attracted capital investment from the investor was the intellectual property. Intellectual property was the factors that attracts investment in the early days. But along the way, Amazon has managed to attract capital investment from different investors during different stages of its development. So if you look at if you are an early investor, I'm sure that you would agree with me that the only asset owned by the technology companies at the startup stage is the intangible assets. And at the same time, the investors who had held faith in Amazon.com and invested early would have been handsomely rewarded as well. If you follow through the financial journey of Amazon.com, you will definitely be impressed by the tremendous returns how an innovative and IP-rich company like Amazon.com can create shareholder value to investors over the time. If you look at the financial journey of Amazon.com, during Amazon's first year of operation, George Jack Bezos, the founder, managed to gather $1 million in seed funding and angel investors after using up investment from his own saving, from his family, and from his parents. So the early stage, as with all the startup, when you come up with a game-changing idea, you need to fund your own money through friends, families, and sometimes your people who know you. But when you have exhausted all your internal contacts, then you have to turn to angel investors. So at the early stage as a technology company, what you own, what you can use to attract the angel investors are your ideas and your intellectual properties. So those 20 or so investors, first 20 or so investors put in about $50,000 each for a stake of less than 1% in Amazon.com. At that time, when the angel investor came in, they came in at a valuation of between 0.1 to 0.3 cent per share. But all those early investors who have held faith and held onto the share, each investment of $50,000 would now be worth $6 billion. That's a whopping 120,000 times return of investment. So eventually, the company grew very rapidly, and in year 1996, 2 years after its foundation, it managed to raise venture capital funding from two of the well-known Silicon Valley VCs. Kenneth Perkins is one of them, to raise about $8 million. At that time, they came in at the valuation of $2.3 per share. In 1997, Amazon went listed, and during the listing, Amazon share was valued at $18 per share. Today, after many split, Amazon share in March 2020 stood at $1,930. The market cap of Amazon.com in March 2020, because of the coronavirus, it went down a little bit. It has breached the $1 trillion valuation in February, but it came down to 945 billion. It is one of the few companies that the share price is not affected by the coronavirus pandemic. In fact, the business was doing much better after the coronavirus, because everybody starts to order everything they want online, and the revenue in 2020 stood at $87 billion. So if you have invested $1,000 during Amazon IPO in May 1997, your investment will be worth 1.3 million. It's a 1,300 times return as of September 4th. So, as a technology company, use intellectual property well as one of the ways to raise capital from angel investors. So this is the IP funding ecosystem. So you can take cue from the Amazon success and learn from Amazon.com. IP owner can use IP assets to attract capital investment in different stages of its development. At the very early ideation stage, if you come up with a good idea, a good solution that solves a real problem, you can raise your funding from accelerators and some of the pre-seed funds. If you can grow beyond the ideation into actual implementation, and you have proven your concept during the pre-seed stage, and you need to raise funds to produce the services and deliver the services or goods to the product, to the market, then you can tap on various types of seed funding. Like you can approach the angel investor, by what the Amazon did successfully. He managed to raise $1 million from 20 angel investors. Or you can go to some of the government's grants. Different governments have come up with grants to support early stage R&D. And beyond, if you have gone beyond the valley of death and you are able to come up with products that sell to the market, you can use intellectual property again for more funding. Of course, one of the ways is you can tap onto the venture capitalists to show them that you have a good business proposition, a good technology which is proprietary, owned by you or your company. You can use that to attract investors. Venture capital investor. Venture investor would want to see what barrier of entry you have in your business, and intellectual property is one big barrier of entries for competition. Or sometimes you can go to certain banks. Now in different countries in the world, you have some of the banks supported by the government and encouraged by the government are starting to look at intellectual property asset as a form of collateral. Try to collateralize your IP to raise funding from banks and financial institutions. And of course, you can go for more government's grant. And when you reach the maturity, then you can go for when a business reaches a certain level, you can raise more funding through initial public offering, you can sell your patents, you can merge your company, and you can monetize the IP assets that you own. And I would think that Amazon offers a very good example of how a startup within a short 25 years with a good idea, with a strong IP, you can grow to become one of the most important company in your field. With that, I come to the end of my presentation. And if you have any questions, you can always write to us, and we will try our best, to answer anything you have in mind. Thank you very much for following our webinar. We will come up with more case study series, to explain, try to link intellectual property to success of some of these household companies. Thank you very much. See you again.